Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my 2013 NFL draft coverage with my final mock draft, picks 1 through 10 of the first round. Be sure to check out my other mock drafts, guys, and be sure to check out picks 11 through 32 of this one as well. When they're completed, I'll upload those videos right away for you. But let's get right to it. Pick number 1 of the first round belongs to the Kansas City Chiefs. Early on in the process, it was thought to be a little bit up in the air as far as who they would take. I think it's been pretty solidified now, and I expect them to announce in the next couple days that they'll take Luke Joeckel, the offensive tackle from Texas A&M, number 1 overall. You know, to counteract the edge pass rushers in the NFL, you need a bookend left tackle that has quick enough feet to be able to thwart those pass rushers and keep them outside and keep them away from your franchise quarterbacks. It's a huge part of the NFL, has been for a while now, and Luke Joeckel gives you that. Athleticism, size, strength. He can get stronger. He can get better run blocking. But for now, he's going to be able to stop those edge pass rushers and sort of grow here with the Andy Reid regime. And I think he's a no-brainer at pick number 1 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Pick number 2 belongs to the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was thought maybe Geno Smith was on their radar, that they were choosing between 2 guys. Geno Smith, maybe a Dion Jordan, maybe an Eric Fisher, another offensive tackle. In the end, I see them going with Dion Jordan, the pass rusher from Oregon. Jordan, I think out of all the pass rushers in this draft, he has the best chance to be an every down pass rusher in the NFL. Not only pass rusher, but just an every down player. I think he's most ready to do that. As you compare him to guys like Ziggy, Ansah, Barkevious, Mingo, who, I think that's why I think he's the best fit here for Jacksonville at pick number 2. Jacksonville doesn't need situational players. They need a guy who can come in, produce, be on the field for them from day one. And I think you get the long, lean Dion Jordan coming around that edge. I think that's a scene you're going to be seeing for a while in Jacksonville. And if he can stay healthy, I think he's going to be, in that Aldon Smith kind of mold and be a heck of a player in Jacksonville for years to come. Pick number 3 belongs to the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders have a lot of needs on their team. They're one of the worst teams in the league consistently here now for about the last 4 or 5 years. But I think better things are ahead for them. I like what they did defensively, in their secondary and in their linebacking core. They just need to address the defensive line now, and I think that's where you see them go here when they take Sharrif Floyd, a defensive tackle from the University of Florida. There's a lot of good defensive tackle prospects in this draft, but what makes Floyd make sense here is, number 1, he's a 4-3 defensive tackle, which the Raiders play. Number 2, he's an extremely well-rounded player. Is he a great pass rusher? No. Is he great against the run? No. But he's very adept and very good at both aspects. He's not a one-trick pony. You can leave him on the field for all 3 downs in an offensive series. And lastly, he has an incredible motor and is always going, never takes a play off. That's a big deal, especially when you're in a place like Oakland where you're trying to build something, build a program, get guys to buy in. Having a guy like Floyd who can give you the production and the effort is big. So Sharrif Floyd, pick number 3 to the Oakland Raiders. Pick number 4 belongs to the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of debate over where they go with this pick. People think Chip Kelly might want a quarterback. I think he wants a quarterback. I think E.J. Manuel is his guy. That if he's there in the second round, I think he's a Philadelphia Eagle. But I think in the first round, I think they get serious value and a very good player and upgrade their offensive line by taking Eric Fisher from Central Michigan. I think Chip Kelly realizes he needs a solid offensive line, that infrastructure, so when this up-tempo offense is not working or they need to milk the clock in some cases when they're up, because the NFL is not like college. I think Chip Kelly knows that. I think he's gonna adjust his offense accordingly. He needs to have a solid offensive line after all the injuries the Eagles had on the line last year. I don't think they can solely depend on those guys this year. So Eric Fisher to the Eagles makes sense. Some people even have him rated ahead of Luke Joeckel. I think what gives Joeckel a little bit of an edge is the fact that he played against some serious competition at Texas A&M, both in the Big 12 and the SEC, while Eric Fisher didn't at Central Michigan, which I don't think is a knock, but I think that's how scouts look at it. So Eric Fisher, number 4 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Pick number 5 belongs to the Detroit Lions. The Lions are a team on offense. I think they're pretty much all set. I don't think you see them try to fill that any holes on the offensive line with the first pick, at least, the number 5 pick overall. They have to address the secondary more. I know they got Glover Quinn. I know they re-signed Delmas, but I think they need another corner to solidify that secondary. You play in a division with Aaron Rodgers. You play in a division with Jay Cutler. You need to have a good secondary, and I think they're fully committed to doing that now after ignoring it for several years. Millner, the cornerback from Alabama, I think is the pick here. 4'3", 40, has all the measurables, has the size, speed, and strength of a shutdown corner, had an excellent season at Alabama last year. The only concern with Millner is if you're concerned about the shoulder, which I'm not, but I think a bigger concern is the fact that he was only a 1-year full-time starter at Alabama. Now, was that his fault? No. He had, a bevy of good players in front of him. We'll see if that affects him at all, but I think he's going to be a solid corner, and I think eventually maybe emerge to one of the better corners in the NFC. So Millner, cornerback from Alabama. Pick number 6 belongs to the Cleveland Browns. I think in a perfect world, the Browns would have loved to take either Dion Jordan or Millner. But I think they're both gone. If the Browns don't trade out of this pick, which I'm not going to predict trades here, guys, because it just gets way too convoluted, but I like the Browns, if they stay in that spot, to take Ziggy Ansah, the defensive end from BYU. Again, 6'6", 270, just an absolute beast. He can be at first for them a situational pass rusher, and I think a good one at that, and then eventually grow into an every down player. People want to compare him to Jason Pierre-Paul. I think there's a lot of similarities, but I think the main difference is the guys in this year's draft are not as good as the year Pierre-Paul came out. So that's why you're seeing Ansah creep up into the top 10. And, his potential alone and the fact that he plays, hard. If you watch this guy play, his motor is absolutely incredible. And I think that's going to be something that teams really like. He's mature. His body is long and lean, but he can put muscle on. I don't think he would lose the quickness if he put muscle on. And I like him in that Ray Horton defense as a situational pass rusher at first, and then obviously an every down player as he matures and plays more football. So the guy hasn't played, as much football as some of the other prospects. Pick number 7 belongs to the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals, obviously, with the picking up of Carson Palmer, I think that eliminates them from taking a quarterback in the first round. I think that goes without saying. Which is why I think they go on the offensive line too, and I think they take Lane Johnson, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma. The Cardinals' offensive line was awful last year. It was consistently rated the worst in the league. Carson Palmer is basically, I don't mean this as a knock, but he's a statue. He doesn't move well back in the pocket. You need to build a solid pocket for him to step up to throw to. And I think Lane Johnson is the best guy available. I think after him, the tackle market sort of drops a lot. So I look at him as being the last, decade left tackle available here in this draft. Lane Johnson's obviously started his career as a quarterback, then moved to tight end, now an offensive tackle. So he still has room to put on weight, to put on strength. But that experience and athleticism he had when he used to play quarterback and tight end, you see it come through tenfold when he's playing offensive tackle. He ran a 4.7 240. The guy is just a freakish athlete. Big guy, 6'6", 310, with the ability, again, to put on even more muscle and be even more of a force. And Lane Johnson, the offensive tackle, number 7 to the Arizona Cardinals. Pick 8, the Buffalo Bills is an interesting pick because I think a lot of people think they're going to go quarterback. Again, I think, the Marrone and Nathaniel Hackett and even Buddy Nix, I know he's a little zany, but they can get a lot more value in the second round with a quarterback or even trading up to the late first round, which I think is what you'll see them do. I don't think, they're going to take a quarterback in the first round. I think a lot of the guys they would have taken or taken by this point are already selected by other teams. So I think they end up with Chance Warmack, the guard from Alabama. Let's not forget the Bills lost Andy Levitre this offseason. They're going to give C.J. Spiller the ball a lot more now. Hey, you need an offensive line for him to sort of be able to grow up with. And I think Chance Warmack would be an excellent guy, a road grading type of blocker. I think he's a top 5 prospect in this draft. It's just given his position is not very valued. That's why you even see him slip to pick 8, to be honest. Rare to have a guard go, obviously, this high, but I think Warmack is worth it. Chance Warmack, number 8 overall. not being picked after Jonathan Cooper, another guard, which people think. I think you have Warmack 8 to the Bills. Pick number 9 belongs to the New York Jets. The Jets, again, I don't think will be in the market for a quarterback in the first round. They have a tremendous need at safety. They have a tremendous need for a pass rusher. Pass rusher, again, trumps pretty much everything in my mind except for quarterback and tackle. I think quarterback is obviously number 1, and then tackle and pass rusher are, tied for second. Offensive tackle, obviously, and pass rusher. So I think they take the best pass rusher on the board, the second best 3-4 outside pass rusher in this draft after Dion Jordan, in Barkevious Mingo from LSU. Mingo has long arms. He's deceptively strong. If you look at him, you might say, man, this guy's a skinny guy. But he's deceptively strong, great motor, pursues like nothing. If you watched him, he might even pursue too much on plays, which is a problem for him. Good problem if you're a Jet fan like me. Good problem to have because, the Jets have been in need of a pass rusher for quite some time now. And I think if you can get Rex, Muhammad Wilkerson, it looks like he's a player. He had a very good season last year. Now you throw a guy like a Mingo in the mix with Quentin Copel, so they also took in the first round. You're able to get quarterback pressure without having to blitz, and I think Rex can devise good defenses around that premise. So Barkevious Mingo, initially as a pass rush specialist, eventually a 3-4 outside linebacker for the New York Jets at pick 9. Pick 10 belongs to the Titans. I see them taking Sheldon Richardson, the defensive tackle from Missouri. Again, I think the second best defensive tackle in this draft, fits the 4-3 scheme well. Some people have him rated above Sharrif Floyd because they feel Richardson rushes the passer better. I have Floyd just a tick above Richardson, but I think Richardson would be a great fit in Tennessee with a young defense that has a lot of good young under-the-radar players, and they continue that by taking Sheldon Richardson, number 10. Guys, that's picks 1 through 10 of my mock draft. I'll be uploading videos for picks 11 through 20 and 21 through 32 here shortly. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to check out my other videos, guys. I talk sports on here all day, so be sure to check out my other videos, over 400 of them. Again, guys, be sure to subscribe. I talk sports on here all the time. Look forward to seeing you in the comments. Thanks again for listening, and have a great day.